places to visit in the island of Palawan. At number 10 is a town in the southernmost tip of the island of Palawan, and this is Riatuba. Riatuba is a town, like if you look at the map of Palawan, it's like in the southernmost tip. It's interesting because I like looking at maps. More than that, the place is a small town. You know that you get to Riatuba, you should be going to, or you should go to the island of Balabac, the Balabac Islands. I've seen videos of it. I didn't get there though. Didn't get there, but that's why it's at number 10 because the Balabac Islands are just virginal and beautiful, glorious. But I didn't get to go there. So at number 10, the town of Riatuba, which I like because it's just interesting. It's in the southernmost tip, and it's one of the first few places I got to visit when I got to Palawan 11 months ago. And that's at number 10, Riatuba. At number 9 is the town of Roxas. It's in the north of Palawan. I've been there at least 4 times. I didn't get to see much though, because usually I go there to get to another town. It's like it has a bus station. The best bus terminal in the island of Palawan is in Roxas. And I have a few friends who live there. Not very close friends. People I've met, I've lived in Palawan for the past few months. And then I'm just going to go to what's at number 8. Number 8 in the countdown is the town of Aborlan. Now, Aborlan is in the outskirts of Puerto Princesa. I know some people, a few, maybe 2 people. Yeah, that's a small number who live or who comes from Aborlan. So this is an interesting place. I never got to explore this town, but I've seen a bit of it, like the town center. And I'm just putting it at number 8. The town of Aborlan. At number 7 is the town of Taytay. Now, when I first got here to Palawan, this was one of the first towns that I got to visit. It's up north of Palawan. The town of Taytay, I remember going to a landmark. It's called Puerta Isabel in the town of Estrella del Norte. It's memorable. I remember the names. It's just photogenic. It's beautiful. A small town, a quaint, laid back. Well, most of these islands are most of these towns are laid back. Palawan is paradise, laid back paradise, and one of the towns that epitomize this atmosphere of quaint and laid back and relaxed, chilled out is the town of Taytay up north of Palawan. Moving on to the 6th spot is the first town I got to visit after I got to the capital city when I first came here, and that is the town of Brooks Point. Brooks Point is also in the south of Palawan, and I'm not going to say much because I was only there for like a night. Yeah, sure, I was just there for a night and a day, I was more like 2 days. I went around town, went to the market. It's got like a market that's only open like twice a week. I think it's called a Monday market or a Sunday market. Brooks Point is interesting. It's very clean, and I just like the atmosphere of Brooks Point. And this is a road less traveled. Most people go north of Palawan. Few people would go south. And when I first got here, I wanted to go to roadless Palawan, so I took the bus south. And instead of going north, I went south. And the first town that I got to visit is a town that is at number 6, and that's Brooks Point. Now, moving on to our top 5, 5th spot in the countdown of my top 10 favorite places to visit in the island of Palawan is the town of Nara. Nara is also in the south of Palawan. Now, Nara's got tourist attractions. It's got Rasa Island, which is, I didn't get to go there, but in Rasa Island you get to see the Philippine cockatoos, and it's an endangered species of cockatoo and endemic to the island of Palawan, and you get to see that in the Rasa Island. It's one of the places I want to get to when I get back to Nara. Hopefully, I'm supposed to go to Nara today, but I don't think I would go there. I'm kind of like, I just might, I'm talking to someone if you might want to go to Nara because I want to take them to a waterfalls, which I visited like a few months ago. I was in Estrella Falls. Estrella Falls is in Nara, and that's why I love it. It's at number 5, the town of Nara. And moving on to what's at number 4. Number 4 in the countdown is San Vicente, the town of San Vicente, and this is famous for Fort for Port Barton. Port Barton is like it's got a lot of tourists, not a lot of tourists, but it's like it's really laid back. But it's travelers know of this town. Um, Travelers from different parts of the world come here. They say it's a more relaxed beach town, and I would have to agree. It has this vibe, very like bohemian and less developed, and very beach town feel. So, if you want to get to somewhere with a, let's just say, not as bustling or let's say what it called is pretty much laid back. I've overused the term, but yeah, well, I'm just gonna say Port Barton is a really nice beach town, and also the town of San Vicente. It has what is now being promoted or is getting more popular, the longest white sand beach in the world. I'm not in the world, in the Philippines. I'm sorry. It is the longest white sand beach in the world is in San Vicente, so that should be interesting. And they also got their airport there, and new airport which you can fly from Clark in Luzon or Manila to get to the airport in San Vicente. And well, number 4 is the town of San Vicente, where you have Port Barton. Third spot in our countdown is Puerto Princesa, the capital city of Palawan. And Palawan has only one city. It's a big island with only one city, and that's the capital city. All of them are small towns. But recently, they're going to have more cities. I think they divided the island's divided into 4 different districts, so they might have other cities soon. But for the longest time, it's got one city, and that's the capital. It's a very beautiful capital city, very clean, and I'd say modern, but very much laid back and very green, and lots of attractions like the underground river, which I visited yesterday. So it is a very beautiful capital city, and lots of those beaches that are very quiet and non-touristic. I just want to get to the second spot in the countdown, and the second spot belongs to the island of Cuyo, and I won't say much. Cuyo Island, check it out. Google it and check for videos of Cuyo Island. It's such a beautiful island, and if you look at the map of the Philippines, Cuyo is like in the middle of nowhere. You can get to Cuyo via the island of via the city of Iloilo in the Visayas region of the Philippines. You get to the city of Iloilo. If you don't want to fly, you want to take a ferry to get to Palawan, you can do that by going to Iloilo. And I'm just going to go to the first, but before I'm going to do the number 1 spot, I'll do a recap of my top 10. Number 10, I got Rio Tuba. Number 9 is Rojas. Number 8 is Aborlan. Number 7 is Taytay. Number 7 is Taytay. Number 6 is Brooks Point. Number 5 is Nara. Number 4 is San Vicente. And number 3 is Puerto Princesa. Number 2 is Cuyo.